Why one of the world's most popular programming languages is called Python? You probably think you know the answer, but I promise you the real story is, well, it's a lot more fun. Let's get into it.
Okay, so be honest. You're thinking it's named after the snake, right? I mean, it makes sense. A powerful, flexible reptile for a powerful, flexible language. It just fits. And look at the logo. It is literally two snakes, a blue one and a yellow one, all wrapped up. I mean, come on. That's an open and shut case. But what if I told you that entire perfectly logical assumption is completely wrong?
That's right. The name has absolutely nothing to do with snakes. So let's peel back the layers and find out where it really came from.
To get the real story, we've got to rewind the clock. We're going back to the late 1980s, a time before the internet as we know it, when a brand new programming language was just starting to take shape. To really get to the bottom of this, we need to meet the creator of Python and find out what exactly was on his mind at that moment. And this is the man himself, Guido van Rossum. He is the Dutch programmer who started building Python back in December of 1989.
He was so central to guiding the language's development that the Python community gave him this amazing title, Benevolent Dictator for Life, or BDFL for short. Basically, it meant he had the final say on where the language was headed.
So picture this. It's 1989. Guido's working on this groundbreaking new language, and in his downtime, he's reading published scripts from one of his favorite shows. You know, think of it as the 80s version of just chilling out and scrolling through your favorite feed for a laugh.
And that show, it was none other than Monty Python's Flying Circus. You know, that completely absurd, surreal, and brilliant BBC comedy sketch show from the 70s. And believe it or not, that is where the name Python comes from.
See, Guido needed a name for his new project. He had a few simple rules. It had to be short, it had to be unique, and it had to be just a little bit mysterious. And since he was in a slightly irreverent mood, as he put it, fresh off reading those scripts, he just picked Python.
But here's where it gets really cool. The connection doesn't just stop at the name. Turns out, the whole vibe of that comedy show actually lines up with the design of the programming language in some pretty fascinating ways.
Let's break this down. Monty Python's comedy was all about being experimental, just breaking rules. And what do developers love using the Python language for? Quick experiments and rapid prototyping. The show pulled inspiration from all over the place, and the language itself blends the best ideas from many others. It's this shared spirit of creative and surprising power that really connects a 70s comedy show to some of the most advanced code being written today.
And the tribute, oh, it goes even deeper. The community totally ran with the joke. They've embedded references from famous Monty Python sketches right into the official documentation. So instead of seeing generic placeholder names like foo and bar in code examples, you'll often see spam and eggs. It's this great inside joke. But okay, beyond all the humor and the quirky name, Python is built on a very serious and honestly beautiful design philosophy. It's known as the Zen of Python. This is basically a list of 19 guiding principles for how to write great programs, and they really influence the language's design. Ideas like beautiful is better than ugly, simple is better than complex, and my favorite, readability counts, show you just how much thought went into making Python not just powerful, but actually a joy to work with. So how in the world did this language, which started as a tribute to a British comedy troupe, become one of the most dominant forces in the entire tech world?
Well, the answer is, today, depending on which ranking you're looking at, Python is very often cited as the #1 most popular programming language on the planet. And this isn't some new trend. I mean, look at this. As far back as 2017, the super influential IEEE Spectrum ranking put Python right at the top, and it's pretty much stayed there or near there ever since. Its simplicity and raw power have just made it a massive favorite for developers everywhere.
And its versatility is it's staggering. It is the backbone of data science and machine learning. It powers huge web frameworks like Django and Flask. It's essential in scientific computing and in academia. It really, truly is everywhere.
So yeah, the next time you see that two-snake logo, you'll know the real story. It's not about a reptile. It's a tribute to a bunch of comedians who love to push boundaries, and in doing so, they inspired a programmer to create a language that would go on to do the exact same thing. Which leaves us with one last kind of fun question. If Guido van Rossum were creating Python today, and he was inspired by modern TV, what show do you think he'd name it after? Something to think about.